side are you on? Which side are you on? On. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My name's Colleen McGeehan. I'm an 8th grade math teacher here at Claremont Middle School and a member of the Oakland Education Association.
And you're here early this morning. What are you doing?
So we're here early this morning. The district has some construction going on at a few places in the district, including my school. We're building a new building here. Since our strike is sanctioned by the Alameda Labor Council, we are picketing out here early in the hopes that our union brothers and sisters and other unions will join us in the picket, in the fight for our students, and the fight for a fair contract.
And how is the strike going?
It's tough. We've been out here now. This is our 6th day. Last night we were rallying at the board meeting that got canceled last minute. That was extremely frustrating for us to hear because we have been asking and begging for board members to meet to give the district authorization to bargain with us on our common good demands. And they canceled the meeting, and that is really disheartening about where they are coming from and where their priorities are.
And I understand Michael Hutchinson has said that, who's the board president, who previously had been supported by many labor people, that's outside the bounds of bargaining.
Yeah, that's not true. Many other unions and districts have made agreements that include these same common good demands or very similar common good demands to what we're asking. It has not been in our particular contract before, but that doesn't mean that it can't be in our contract in the future.
This common good, what is the common good?
So the common good are a set of demands that have to do with things outside of our compensation as teachers. So for example, we're fighting for safety in our schools. We're fighting for classrooms that are climate controlled. We're fighting for classrooms that are safe for students to be in. We're also fighting for more supports for our unhoused students, because if they don't have the supports they need, then what we're trying to do as teachers is just never going to be as productive as it could be. We're also fighting for shared community decision-making for community schools. So in our district, we have community schools. We get a lot of money each year to support those community schools. And as teachers, we want a seat at the table and a say in how those funds are spent.
So California has supported community schools financially, and what you're saying is you should have a say in where the money's going?
Correct, yes.
Isn't that taking away the power from the board?
So it's asking for some shared responsibility between the teachers and the board, since we need to work together to really be a successful and strong district for our students.
And are you concerned that the money will be misused that they're getting from the state?
I think that's a concern based on how community schools just want to say in where those funds are going, and as teachers we think we have a really good feel for what we need the money to be spent on, since we are the ones here in schools every single day working with our students.
And also the issue of shortage of teachers and turnover, is that a concern to you?
100%, absolutely. Even here at the school, we had a science teacher position, 7th grade science, that wasn't filled until about 4 months into the school year. We had many candidates that were excited about the position. We interviewed them, and then as soon as they looked at the salary scale, they said, no, we're going to work in another Bay Area district where we'll get paid much more. So retaining teachers and attracting new teachers to our district is a huge concern. There are some schools that have had classrooms without a full-time teacher all year. Some schools with many classrooms without a full-time teacher all year. So absolutely.
And what does that mean for the student with the high turnover?
Oh my gosh. You think a strike is disruptive to a student's learning. Think about having a classroom without a full-time teacher in it all year, how disruptive that is to a student's learning throughout the whole year, not only 1 or 2 weeks when they might be out of the classroom.
So substitute teachers is what they're getting?
Substitute teachers, rotating subs. Sometimes it's other teachers having to cover on their preps, or administrators having to cover these classrooms in order to just keep the school running. Yeah.
And that hurts the student.
Absolutely, 100%, yeah.
And is there an issue of charters in this district?
There is. I can't speak to that too much because it's not something that I personally have had
Are you concerned about the fact that the charters are growing and it's a two-tier system as far as education is concerned?
Yeah, I'm concerned about that in a general state across our whole country, and I assume that these problems that are plaguing our whole country are happening here in Oakland as well.
And also the Writers Guild is on strike.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Right on. We had Boots Riley at our rally yesterday speaking, who is also on strike with the Writers Guild. I think that the workers are standing up for the pay, for the rights, for the working conditions that they deserve, and I think right on to that.
I'm Susan Keene. I'm a teacher at Oakland International High School, and I am an elected union rep at OIHS as well.
So you're out here today asking for solidarity of building trades workers?
Yeah, well, first, we're fighting for our contracts, and we have been since November. It's really a problem. Our students deserve all of the things we're fighting for. We're fighting for pay, which has been twisted all sorts of ways, but in the end, we have 9 open positions at my school that serves newcomers. We have people that volunteer at my school. They come in for an interview, they get accepted, they see our pay, and they go. So my students will not have teachers next year if we don't change what we're doing right now. So we're fighting for salaries so that teachers can live. I also have friends that live off the food bank. Full-time teachers in Oakland that cannot survive on the food bank. We're fighting for smaller classes. We're fighting for nurses. We're fighting for health. We're fighting for smart, no school closures, and if we have to do them, in smart and compassionate ways. And here we have people who are crossing the picket line, who are working on a site, and we just want them to be with us. They don't have to be over there. They're making money for OUSD right now when we're out here sacrificing for our students. And everything we're doing is for our students.
And do you have a lot of solidarity in your school among fellow teachers about this issue?
So every single teacher is on the strike line. Our SEIU and AFS-CME, our classified folks, are out there as much as they can be. We are all unified. We're all in communication. We're all leading with love. We're getting our AmeriCorps workers as much support as possible. We sit in meetings as reps that aren't even part of the union. For SEIU, AFS-CME, we sit in to support our members. Everything we do is united together for students. We can't do it without everyone. We need our cafeteria to feed. We need our custodian staff to clean. We need our office staff. They help us so much to care for our students and connect them to the school. So every single thing we do is connected to our students being well.
I'm a Berkeley teacher, and I was at Chabot on Monday, and I live in the neighborhood, so my kids wanted to see what was going on, what the chanting was, but I'm here to support, yeah.
And they say that they can't negotiate around common good. Are you familiar with some of the issues?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the issues is the elementary school raise doesn't even really amount to a raise because of how much they're asking them to work more mandated hours. There's something about community school funding and teachers wanting to be a part of the actual decision making around how funding is spent. And I think there was one other key issue that I'm forgetting about. But it seems as if this union is really organized and there's solidarity between school sites, within school sites, and yeah, that's really inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be there's a crisis in public education, a lot of loss of teachers. Teachers can't afford to live in the Bay Area. They can't afford to live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Is that the problem?
It's without a doubt one of the problems, yeah. And then it's also, yeah, a very hard, demanding job that isn't compensated. And there's compensated well, and then there's a whole lot of extra demands and asks, emails after school, community, admin, parents treating, undervaluing the job, sort of speaking out of two sides of their mouth. Also, wanting to appreciate and value our profession, but then not actually put their money where their mouth is, similar to how healthcare workers are treated. So I think we're going to hopefully see more and more of this, and the teacher unions that are standing up, starting this fight right now, will hopefully inspire more.
And is your union actively supporting this strike in Berkeley?
I don't know if it officially is, but I know that there's a lot of teachers from Berkeley High School finding ways to come.
I have an 8th grader who missed out in 5th grade graduation, and all of our kids, I'm now watching a ton of kids, and they need to be in school. They've gotten their raises. We don't need new plants. The city of Oakland has to take care of all the safety issues. It's not up to us or the teachers.
But they also need a mother that can support them.
I've been renting for 20 years in Oakland. Do you own your house?
No. It does. We're gonna pay a lot of people.
Everywhere we go, people wanna know. People wanna know who we are, who we are.
And especially all of us who are doing the
We are the teachers. We are the teachers. Mighty, mighty teachers. Mighty, mighty teachers.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
Where are the business agents?
Yeah, on the phone telling each other how much they support each other's business and keep the construction going. Yeah, one of the members said whatever his trade union leadership said that they were in contact with the teachers union and that the teachers union was supporting the construction.
Really?
That's what we were told. So, which doesn't surprise me because the treachery of the labor union leadership knows no bounds. So,
Why would you think that would happen?
because it's under a PLA, and so, and PLAs have language that prevent workers from going on strike and supporting other strikes, and so,
The purpose of a PLA? What is a PLA?
planned labor agreement, yeah, and the purpose is under the guise of union secured labor is to undermine the labor movement by preventing workers from being able to strike in solidarity with each other.
So you think this has to change, not just with the teachers?
No, it's a systemic thing for sure. It has to change with the union leadership. We need, political ousting of the bureaucratic, leadership so that we can have a union that is fighting for the rank and file. So
You have real solidarity?
we were just at the ILWU rally on May Day and talking about the Oakland teachers and the port being closed down in solidarity over the Oakland A's stadium. Well, if the teachers are on strike, I feel like the port workers should be shutting down the strike. We all need to be on strike. So
And the building trades leadership, the Labor Council was supporting the stadium by John Fisher.
They support any opportunistic opportunity to make wages or to collect hours and dues without, with whether or not it sacrifices the, benefit of the workers themselves.
Morning.
Should we start a chant?
Which one? Come on, guys, please.
Estamos en la lucha.
Escucha.
Escucha. Estamos en la lucha. Escucha. Escucha.
Well, I'm come from Detroit, from the auto industry, and so, a lot of jobs have been lost to robotics, and unfortunately, a lot of workers are misinformed. I watch Fox News just to get an understanding of where they're coming from, and they're just parakeeting, verbatim what's being said, and it's really unfortunate. I mean, they're blaming immigrants as opposed to knowing the facts. 700,000 jobs were lost directly due to robotics. And so, I educate the workers and I let them know what's going on, but at the end of the day, I'm not the media, I'm not promoting the information out here, to the masses, and a lot of people are misinformed, and it's really unfortunate because then it gets people fighting.
You think the labor movement should have its own channel, own media?
Yeah, absolutely. It's unfortunate we don't.
And the Democrats, what do you think about the role of the Democrats?
Unfortunately, so personally, I'm not a supporter of the exploitive system that we're under through capitalism, and the Democratic Party does support that oppression, and I don't agree with that mentality or that ideology.
And the unions are giving a lot of money to the Democrats.
Yep.
Which could go to their own labor media.
Or the sacrifices that were made throughout history just for us to have the rights that we have today, and just see that degrade as we support, these leaders that are harming us and hurting us through these agreements like the PLA agreement. is really unfortunate.
Picket is about a number of things, mostly supporting Oakland communities, students, teachers, fair contract for teachers, keeping them in the district. And
Are you a teacher?
yeah, I'm a teacher here at Claremont.
You have a lot of solidarity here?
We do, yeah. We have a really wonderful community. We obviously have a number of different union workers, construction workers, electricians, plumbers, all sorts of different people that have, under their own accord, come down to support us, which is really powerful.
And the Board of Education is saying they can't negotiate on these community common issues. What is that all about?
Or we've been told by the district that they're not allowed to engage in bargaining over the common good issues because the board is not authorizing them to do so. There's 6 board members, 3 of them are not choosing to authorize that. They canceled the board meeting yesterday, saying that they didn't want to cross our picket line, in which case there was no picket line. It was a rally to have that meeting happen. But if you look at previous strikes, the Chicago teacher strike, LA strike, those had common good goals within their contract, and they were able to be legally bargained and agreed upon. So we feel like we're getting the runaround a little bit, and we're not totally sure why they won't support allowing the bargaining to go forth.
And our union's under attack. What do? Stand up, fight back.